Someone thinks, hey, CP, who's in the ACC is like a Forrest Gump.
Then one day, I got tired.
So we'll explain Forrest Gump coming up next on ACC Live. On ACC Live, first it was Clemson, then Miami.
I think everybody around the whole university right now is just ecstatic.
The Canes' win over Florida set off a Category 5 celebration. Stephen Morris is loving it right now. Two Miami greats, Morris and CP, talk TDs and tats.
Stephon Diggs, the high step and the dive into the end zone.
The only one who's figured out how to stop the Stephon Diggs show is his coach. Why Randy Edsall gave Diggs a stern talking to. Are you serious? ACC Live starts now. This is ACC Live. I'm Jeff Fischel. He's Miami Hurricane great and NFL All-Pro Clinton Portis. Our new time, 1 o'clock. We needed that extra hour to make the show even better.
Skin right.
The game you were at on Saturday, the Canes, the huge win over the Gators.
It was great. It was a great win for the program. It was a great win for the ACC. And it was a great win for college football. I think you look at the University of Miami defense, creating turnovers, flying around. That's what we need.
I was going to say, everyone talks about Duke Johnson and Stephen Morris, but the defense was phenomenal. 5 turnovers, including 4 in the red zone.
It's definitely what you need. To get turnovers from a defense that struggled last year, all of a sudden they go out, create turnovers, stop the Florida Gators, and we back ranked.
21-16 the final, and with the win, Miami jumps into the new AP poll from out of the top 25 to number 15, and that was your prediction.
My prediction, I predicted 2 things last week. I told you Oregon would win by 50. They won by 49. I told you University of Miami would be back in the top 15, and they're at number 15.
Clemson moves up to number 3 behind only Alabama and Oregon. Florida State stays steady at 10 after a bye week. So is the ACC getting enough respect in the polls? Tweet us at the ACCDN. Now it's time for the stories that are so popular right now, they just might break Twitter. It's the buzz. Taj Boyd, he's picking Texas A&M over Alabama. There must be something about Heisman candidate quarterbacks and up-tempo offenses sticking together.
I agree with Taj. I think when you look at Texas A&M, I think they have a legit chance at beating the Alabama Crimson Tides. Outside of the Oregon Ducks, I don't see another dominant team in college football, so it's up for grabs. I like Texas A&M as well.
By the way, Taj now number 1 in the ESPN Weekly Heisman poll, something to keep an eye on. Remember, after Johnny Manziel did the money fingers against Rice, we saw Taj do the same thing after his first TD against Georgia. So these two guys clearly on the same page.
It's that pay me. They know what time it is. It's time to cash in. So it's great for both of those guys.
Taj will be doing it on Sundays next year, that's for sure. College football is getting so big now. CBS is going to devote 1 camera for an entire game to 1 player, but not just any game. It's that Texas A&M Alabama game, and not just any player. It is Manziel. From the cheap seats tweeted about the Johnny Cam, talking about how big that is and how interesting that could be. Take me back to your days playing. If you'd had a camera following you wherever you went, doing whatever you were doing, what would we have seen?
I think if they would have kept the camera on me for an entire game, the biggest thing they would have noticed is how hungry we got during the game. We snuck hot dogs in, and guys stayed eating. You know, you have to wipe your hands off. So it's not a signal. It was wiping ketchup off.
I thought that might have been a play, an audible.
This is wiping ketchup off.
Speaking of Johnny Football, a computer program, the Predictolator, compared Johnny Manziel's freshman year to Jameis Winston, projecting Winston's numbers for the rest of the season. Now, Jameis has only played 1 game, so skepticism is required by law. But the numbers, you have Winston thrown for over 3,200 yards. Manziel, by the way, threw for 3,700. 24 touchdowns for Winston, 28 for Manziel. Interceptions about the same. Manziel 9, Winston 8. But again, this is after 1 game.
I just think these predictions are just getting outrageous. You know, give Jameis a chance to go out and play football. You know, I think Johnny Manziel had a great year. It's getting so outrageous with predictions. I really want to submit my kids' stats just to see if they're going to make it to college. Let somebody tell me from their flag football stats that, hey, your kids are going to college. I'll feel great about it.
Get a good ACC education like you did. Of course, what I think I learned from this is that I really want my kids to be good at computers so they can make money off of doing silly things like making projections.
That would be a good idea as well.
Go to school. Hey, one more thing from the buzz. A rabid a rabid Clemson fan. He went on vacation for a week. While he was gone, his roommate, a diehard South Carolina fan, redid his whole room in Gamecocks colors. Now, this was the before. Besides it being a mess, just notice that there's Clemson stuff on the walls. Uh-oh, I see the dark red. I see memorabilia everywhere. Now, did you pull off any pranks like this when you were at the U?
You know, we pulled off pranks, not like this.
Look at this where he got home. He's furious. He's like, take that off the wall.
I don't blame him. Even though they made his room look much better, the pranks we played, you know, all the guys used to leave their doors unlocked. So one day I decided I was going to go late night into guys' rooms, and I remember scaring the crap out of Andre Johnson. You know, I called him sleep, and I went in with a cake knife, and, you know, it just scared him. So, yeah.
Watch out for Clinton Portis late at night. What? Everyone's leaving their doors open?
Man, they said it's the University of Miami, and it was safe. So where they get that idea from, I'm not leaving the door open. I shut my closet doors, bathroom door. I shut it all.
Safety first. And that is the buzz. Clemson off this week. So hopefully that guy has some extra time to change his room back to the orange and purple. Miami also off, but their quarterback was not off last year at all. Stephen Morris set 5 school records, including that unforgettable day against NC State, 566 yards passing. Not only a Miami record, but an ACC record as well. His total yards, 3,415. That broke Bernie Kosar's school record. And here he is, Miami quarterback Stephen Morris. Stephen, tell me, what's the reaction been like both from your teammates and from the school after the big win?
I think my teammates are extremely happy about it. Obviously, that was a huge win for the team. I thought it was a great team effort win. And the vibe around campus is actually going crazy right now. Everybody's really excited and happy. And you can walk into classrooms and your professors are saying congratulations. So I think everybody around the whole university right now is just ecstatic.
Everyone is saying the U is back, and I know it's such a great feeling. How do you keep yourselves from not getting overexcited or feeling like you overachieved?
Our biggest focus right now is just moving forward and getting ready for the next week opponent. We're on a bye week right now, so our biggest emphasis right now is not to worry about what we did last week, but to correct the mistakes that we had in the game versus Florida. And that goes offense, defense, and especially in special teams.
Offensively, you haven't been clicking as you was last year. I think a lot of people fail to realize you've been playing under different offensive coordinators. You got a new offensive coordinator, and the offense has been kind of slow. Could you elaborate on that?
The biggest thing that we're doing right now is just communicating better. A lot of times on our third down conversions, we're failing on that because we're not communicating what we need to do. So it just takes one little thing to mess up a play. So we got to just focus on the little things and do those a lot better.
Now, obviously, we know Al Golden tells you guys, hey, we're not there yet. We're building this program back to where it once was. Yep. Last national title was with this guy right here, CP, 2001. And now I know you were a big Canes fan as a kid. Take me back. You remember the exact place where you were, right, when the Canes won that national title?
Yeah, I had a towel wrapped over me. We just came out of the pool. I was about 9 or 10 years old, and we were just having a great time in the pool, and all of a sudden, you know, the crowd, the adults were going crazy, and all of us came out of the pool, and it was winding down at the end, and Miami won it, and we were just running around outside in pots and pans and swimming trunks, and it was a great night to remember.
I think that memory just gave me chill bumps. I think you started getting a lot of attention after the Manning camp, everybody jumping on the Stephen Morris bandwagon. How do you keep level-headed with people saying, well, you should be the next best quarterback to come out of the draft?
I think the best way I do it is I just focus on what I need to do to get better. There's so many aspects in my game that I'm trying to improve on right now. And the best thing about it is I come in to work every single day with Coach Cole, and he's in my face about doing the little things right. And, you know, my work is really laid out for me. And I'm just trying to improve every single day, and not only improve myself, but improve my teammates along the way.
Hey, Stephen. We know Al Golden has a big following. Everyone loves how he's built the program up. There's even a Twitter feed dedicated to his hair. It's you guys win an ACC title. Would you run up and mess up his hair?
There's a couple things you just don't do, and messing with Coach Golden is definitely in the top 5. So I'll just leave that one alone.
Oh, you gotta do it, man. You gotta find a big enough game or big enough stage and mess it up.
Probably after the ACC. Definitely.
I'm looking at this U photo in the background, and I hear you just got a new U tattoo. what's this all about? Man, you got to put the work in. I don't even have a U tattoo.
Can we see it?
Let us see the tattoo.
There it is.
Right here. I'm throwing on.
Woo!
It's just something that, every player that's ever been here has always gotten it. And I got it right after my sophomore season. No, actually right after my junior season coming into my senior season. I thought it was about time for me to do it. I was excited for it. I was happy. It's one of my best tattoos.
Hey, CP, you don't even have. Do you have one?
I don't have a U tattoo, and
CP slacking.
I got to hurry up and get me one, man. You got it on the right arm. You're throwing with a cannon. I think the future ahead of you is bright. You guys are doing a great thing, getting back and finally being ranked again. More than half of the guys on your roster have never had the opportunity to be ranked. How exciting is it for them?
I thought it was a great feeling, to be ranked. It just shows all the hard work that you've been putting in the summer is really paying off. But, we haven't talked about it once in the team meeting, and that shows you where our focus is. We really don't care about what the people outside of this program are saying. We understand that 115 guys in the locker room need to get ready every single week, and it's my job, along with Shayon's job, to get everybody ready.
Now, Stephen, last thing, back in July, we got you to pay a visit to the ACC Digital Network photo booth.
Now, you tell me you guys have a great quarterback. What's his name? Okay, his name's Stephen Morris. That might be me. Hey!
Very impressive reporting job, I must say.
Thank you so much. I learned from the best. I learned from you guys.
Stephen Morris, Miami quarterback. Great job with the win over Florida. I know you guys have a bye this week, so enjoy the week away a little bit. You guys get a little time off this week, right?
Just a little bit. One day, that's all.
All right. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
CP, it was like a Hurricane reunion Saturday at the game, by the way. You snapped a few pics while you were there, right?
It was great. I think it was great to have the guys that were on hand back. The photos came out great. You see myself and Adrian, Ray Lewis was at the game. I had an opportunity to go out with the kids, hang with the fam, take them out. My first opportunity to ever tailgate. 32 years, I never tailgated. I got an opportunity, and it was a great experience. I enjoyed myself, and I can't wait to do it again.
People don't realize that a guy who plays college football every Saturday, then plays on Sundays as pro, he hasn't gotten a tailgate. You got your chance.
Well, if you go out and tailgate before the game, I don't think you're going to play good on the field. I think the tailgate moments will leave you in a state of delusion.
All right, well, that was a big game, a big win for Florida. Tomorrow, for Miami over Florida. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern here on the ACCDN, our throwback game when we dig up one of the great games in conference history and bring it to you in 30 minutes. Tomorrow, a recent classic just last season. Rivals North Carolina and Duke put on a show that went back and forth until the final seconds. And right here, in my hand, it's the highlight sheet for one of the most memorable moments from that game. Now, we have not let CP see this play.
Show me the money, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. So here you go. Take us back. October 20th, 2012.
We pick up late in the fourth quarter. UNC trails 26-23. Quarterback Brand Renner drops back, find a wide open Eric Highsmith. Jordan Byers rips the ball out, but Gio Bernard is there to scoop and score. UNC takes the lead, 30-26. He celebrates with his teammates on the sideline. Great awareness by Gio Bernard. Scoop and score, in for the 6.
I was sure Duke was going to recover right there.
Yeah,
and then Duke gets back up.
Guys don't protect the ball. When you dive on the ball, just get the fumble. You can't get back up. So just dive on the ball, cover it up. It's Duke ball.
Now, anyone who remembers the game knows that wasn't the last huge play. We'll have it all for you tomorrow at 1 here on the ACC Digital Network, our ACC Throwback Thursday game. I'll also be taking over the ACCDN Twitter feed during the show, tweeting some nuggets about the rivalry, the schools, and the players who made the key plays. So follow the ACCDN on Twitter. Coming up, the moments from the week in the ACC football that left Clinton saying,
"Are you serious?"
Plus, CP loves talking running backs. BC is 2-0 and flying high thanks to the Eagle, who can grind it out on the ground.
It's time to twist again at Ruby Tuesday. Introducing 4 amazing new burgers made with 100% fresh USDA choice beef, handcrafted to order with a twist. Our new buttery toasted pretzel buns. Like our spicy jalapeno pretzel cheeseburger with pepper jack cheese, crispy jalapenos, and smoky chipotle mayo. Or our bacon cheese pretzel burger with applewood smoked bacon, all starting at just $8.99. And go to funbetweenthebuns.com for a twisted deal on our pretzel burgers. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC mobile app is free and fully loaded. Scores, schedules, and stats, highlights, and live games, all in the palm of your hand. Download it on your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Your teams, your app. It's on the ACC mobile app, presented by Carrabba's. Download it today.
Want to win a trip to the ACC Football Championship? Visit the ACC Facebook page and enter the Haviland Protect What Matters Challenge for your chance to win.
Having analyzed countless college football formations, I can spot a good defense. Haviland Motor Oil defends your car's engine and helps protect your investment. Share your Haviland stories on our Facebook page and enter to win a VIP trip to the ACC Football Championship.
Haviland, protect what matters.
College sports is about moments. Moments we cheer for. Moments that give us chills. Moments we will never forget. Must-see moments. The ACC Digital Network. It's on.
When it comes to being better, what's better? Being better or worse? Better! Okay, and what are you better at?
I'm better at telling jokes.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Queen.
Queen who?
Queen, my dishes, please.
Queen.
It's Queen to make it funny.
He doesn't get it.
It's not complicated. Better is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest and now most reliable 4G LTE network.
Is now in at tailback on 2nd and 6. Receiver screen for Diggs. Sheds a tackler. The stiff arm. The first down the sideline. Stephon Diggs, the high step and the dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. 41 yards for Diggs.
And we talk about Stephon Diggs' ability for the big play. Here he is, open field, ball in his hands, hard to stop.
Welcome back to ACC Live. I'm Jeff Fischel with Clinton Portis. That was a great play by Stephon Diggs. You were impressed, but then he came to the sidelines, and it left you saying,
"Are you serious? Coach, listen, Clinton Portis talking here, okay? Clinton Portis."
So, in that 47-10 win over Old Dominion, Portis, 6 catches, 179 yards, with the high step at the 10, then the somersault into the end zone. Unnecessary? Sure. Entertaining? For sure. That was the play. And you were shaking your head, though, after that.
Coach, this is your PT peer, primetime player, your seat filler, your money maker. This is why people come out to see the Maryland Terps. Stephon Diggs is an awesome player. This guy breaks. Let him enjoy himself. Let him celebrate. That wasn't even, that wasn't the Dion down the sideline. That was really getting the guy to change his feet, to stop, and you get on him. Coach Randy Edsall, are you serious?
Edsall, after the game, called it a teaching moment. By the way, teaching moment is the 21st century way that a coach quietly but sternly chews out a player on the sideline. Communication breakdown, it's always the same. Miami quarterback Stephen Morris looking for Philip Dorsett. Dorsett never looked for the ball. Then he just kept running.
He set out on a journey, much like another famous guy that we know. It goes by the name of Forrest Gump. And he just kept running and running and running. He must have been looking for Jenny. Philip Dorsett, are you serious?
NC State barely beat Richmond Saturday night, but it didn't have to be quite as stressful as it was. When the Pack scored in the third quarter, Dave Doran could have had them go for 2 in the tie. Instead, he kicked the PAT. NC State was still down 1. That's why the Pack absolutely needed a 48-yard field goal in the final minute. Some people didn't agree with that decision.
This could have came back to hunt him. Luckily, it worked out for NC State, but I think it was a bad call. What's the difference from being down 1 or 2? Either way, you were going to need a field goal in the end to win the game. So on this call, I would have to say, Coach Double D, are you serious?
And that's a wrap for this week's Are You Serious? Let's take a look at this weekend's schedule. After USC's loss to Washington State, does BC now have a shot of beating the Trojans?
USC tends to slip up every year. BC really has a chance in this game.
Virginia Tech trying to get to 2-1 over East Carolina. Wake Forest looking to rebound after the loss last week to BC. Pitt at home trying to even its record at 1-1. Remember, it had a bye last week after the loss to Florida State. And in that BC game, of course, the key could be the ability of Andre Williams to have a big game. I know he had over 200 yards last week against Wake Forest, and that left you impressed.
Well, I think when you look at this kid, he has everything you want in a great running back. He has vision, he has power, he has leverage, and he finishes play the way you want it. If you take a look here, you see him come through the line. He sets up his block to explode through. Once you see the hole, you have to explode through. Watch how he breaks out of this tackle, low pad level, coming through. Guy can't get a good angle on him. And then he bursts downfield. And you got 5 yards to run out of bounds. Instead, he turns into the defender and punish him, finish your run off. If you give a guy that for 4 full quarters, they'll get tired of tackling you, and that tends to make for 200-yard game.
BC also has emotion going for it. Chase Reddick going back home to play in LA. He's going to show the Trojans what they missed out on. They can certainly use a quarterback right now as well. The rest of the games from this week 3, Nevada. The birthplace of the pistol offense comes to Tallahassee. Do you see any problems for the Noles?
I don't, but what we look for in this game is the opportunity to see famous Jameis again. Do he continue to play of last week when he played Pittsburgh? Can he continue his performance?
Of course, when that game ends, we are the home for ACC highlights and must-see moments. You can find them all on the ACC.com and on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ACCDN. Now let's take a look at some big stories from across the conference. It's time for the ACC Now, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Duke is readying for its conference opener, trusting the Phantom against Georgia Tech. Remember, quarterback Anthony Boone is out with a broken collarbone. Brandon Connett, a.k.a. the Phantom, is in. He looked great in relief last week, leading Duke to a win over Memphis. But this week, it's the Yellow Jackets. Connett's top target isn't worried at all.
It's tough to lose a starting quarterback, but it's very fortunate to have a backup that can come in and throw the ball as well, and also knows the offense just like Boone, because he's been here the same amount of time. So it has its pros and its cons.
The Terps are trying to get off to a 3-0 start. The suddenly explosive Maryland offense averaging over 40 points and 500 yards a game, going up against a UConn team that lost to an FCS school, Towson. And of course, facing UConn means Randy Edsall against his old team.
I don't know if you're not human if you don't have emotions when you get involved in games or involved in the things that you do.
And one more note. Last night, a huge win for the U.S. men's soccer team, 2-0 over Mexico. The U.S. men qualifying for the World Cup. 5 ACC players represented the USA. There are only 6 players on the entire team that went to college. Most of the rest of them went to pro right after high school. 5 guys from the ACC. They all played last night. Alejandro Bedoya started. He's from BC. 2 other ACC starters, both Terps, Clarence Goodson and Omar Gonzalez. And then 2 subs as well. Graham Zusi, also from Maryland, came into the game, as did Wake Forest's Michael Parker. So congrats to the U.S. men's national team, now into the World Cup. And that's the ACC Now, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Hey, right now, if you check out the ACC.com and YouTube.com/ACCDN, we have CP's top 3. What's on there right now?
Well, this week we talk about the ACC gaining on the SEC. I break down the quarterback play. I talk about the head-to-head matchups. And I also give you the playmakers. The ACC is loaded with playmakers, so check it out.
That's on the ACC.com and on our YouTube channel. Here's the rest of the schedule from the ACC Digital Network. It starts every week on Sunday. Take the best game from that weekend. We play it all for you in about 8 minutes. Just the best action. We have Rams power plays. There's CP's top 3. Every Wednesday, ACC Live, now at 1 o'clock. Thursday, the throwback games, also at 1. Friday, ACC Soccer Weekly. Every Saturday, game day, highlights, must-see moments all day long. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow our Twitter feed as well. And one final note. We talk so much about the heroes on the field, like Duke Johnson, Taj Boyd, Clinton Portis. But not today. Today, of all days, we take time to acknowledge a true ACC hero you may not know, Boston College's Wells Crowther. He played lacrosse at BC, and there's no way to avoid giving away how the story ends other than when I tell you he was in the Twin Towers on 9/11. Yes, on that day, Wells Crowther lost his life, but not before saving at least a dozen others. 12 years later, now on 9/11, his bravery is still being honored in Chestnut Hill. The school is naming a new bald eagle mascot. The 5 finalist names have been announced, and one of the finalists is Wells. The winning name, it'll be announced in a couple of weeks, coming up on September 28th. The other names are all perfectly suitable names, but today, September 11th, I would hope Wells would be a unanimous pick. Never forget. I want to thank Clinton Portis for today's show. That is ACC Live.